Hello, everybody. I'm Jackie K. Cooper, and it's time for our Tell a Story Thursday. And this is when I read you an excerpt from one of my 8 books. And this week we are still reading excerpts from Journey of a Gentle Southern Man. And the story for today is titled Mother Like Those Sad Songs. A few days ago, I was driving to work with the car radio blaring, and out came the melodious voice of Kenny Rogers. Kenny was singing about a man who killed his girlfriend because she was unfaithful. Because of this, he was hanged, and then buried beneath the tree from which he was hanged. The story of this unknown lover was carried about by the breeze as a warning for all souls who fall for an untrue woman. My first thought upon hearing this song was, Mother would have loved it. Now that may seem like a strange statement from a devoted son to make about his mother, but then you never knew my mother. On the one hand, Margaret Virginia Kershaw Cooper was as sane, loving, intelligent, and compassionate as anyone you would want to know. But on the subject of grief and sadness, she was a little off-center. And that made me love her even more. My aunts and uncles used to tell me about what she was like as a little girl. Mother would get all embarrassed when they would tell me these stories, but she never denied them. Her siblings told me that she was nicknamed the Buzzard. A cemetery was located across the field from their house in Gadsden, Alabama. Whenever there was a funeral, Mother would take off across that field. There goes the buzzard, the others would shout, and off she would go to take her place at the edge of the gravesite. There she would listen to the minister intone the attributes of the dearly departed. With each word, the somber little girl would gasp and sob as tears rolled down her face. Men in the crowd would wonder about the poor little girl who was so emotionally jolted by the death that had occurred, and many would pat her and whisper words of encouragement as they passed by. Why my mother was attracted to funerals, I can't say to this day. All she would ever tell me is that she felt drawn to show grief over anyone who died. I accepted that explanation then, and I accept it now. Maybe the psychiatrists who are reading and hearing this can give more insight. I know it's eccentric behavior of a modest degree, but I can think of many traits that would have been worse. This obsession with sadness also spilled over into her love for morbid songs. Any song that told a story about lost love, unrequited love, or unspoken love was a favorite to her instantly. To this day, I can remember being rocked to sleep by her and listening to her sing about a man who got mad at his girlfriend and, quote, beat her and banged her and slung her around. He threw her in the river where he knew she would drown. If I wasn't asleep by this time that she finished, I would beg her to sing it again. Now, I don't think I'm an advocate of violence against women, and certainly my mother was not. It was just that she loved the passion and power of the storied songs that passed love and then passed that love on to me. The more convoluted the plot of the story, the more I enjoy the song. This obsession with funerals was not passed on to me. I hate them, hate everything about them. But the sad songs, sad books, and sad movies are something I care about just like she did. Most of the time I have to listen to country music to get a really sad story in a song. Pop music, especially rock, does not lend itself to this specialty. Though I do have to say, Harry Chapin was the master when it came to writing and singing songs that were full-fledged stories. Taxi and WOLD are classics of this type. I do seek out sad movies whenever I get the chance. However, I feel today's movies aren't cut from the same cloth as the tearjerkers of the 40s and 50s. Some thought the movie Terms of Endearment was a teary film. For me, it was only a minor clog of the throat. When you've been through such Kleenex killers as Imitation of Life, All Mine to Give, Old Yeller, and Brian's Song, then Terms of Endearment it isn't even worth serious thought. Those movies I named went straight to the heart and pounded it with pathos. I had only been married a few months when Brian's song came on television. My poor bride thought she had married the wimp of the Western world as she saw me dissolved by the content of this epic. She got a little teary, but I was wiped out by the story, especially the music. And the bad thing was, the sadder it got, the more I loved it. My mother lives on through me now. You know, I have a new song to listen for on the radio, Kenny Rogers and his ballad about the unknown lover. And maybe Kenny picks these songs to sing because his mother loves them too. That's my story for today. This is Jackie K. Cooper sending love and hope.